we've just heard, Brisbane Broncos prop Payne Haas is packing his bags and heading to South Sydney from 2027. Now joining us to discuss the details is Code Sports' Michael Carianis. Michael, thanks for your time. Now, this story you broke today has come completely out of nowhere for most people this afternoon. What a signing by the Rabbitohs to start off with.
Yeah, Jared, I think it came out of nowhere for everyone, myself included, when I found out that Payne Haas would quit the Broncos and ink a deal to join South Sydney. I couldn't believe it initially. There's been no word of it. There's been no inkling of it. It hasn't really come out to public at all until this afternoon. And from there, it's been a huge news. South Sydney confirmed that Payne has agreed to a 3-year deal. The Broncos also confirmed that Payne had told the club that he would leave at the end of this season. And this is 24 hours before they're due to fly out for the World Club Challenge, the Brisbane Broncos. So, yeah, huge news and arguably the biggest NRL transfer in at least a decade.
Yeah, you definitely imagine Souths would have plenty of cap space now with Koloamatangi departing at the end of the year as well. But you did mention it's arguably the club's biggest signing, or the NRL's biggest signing. I'm thinking Greg Inglis leaving Melbourne to South, for example. Where does it compare to that?
It's up there. It is up there. 26-year-old prop, arguably the best forward in the game, one of the best players in the game, has left the club. He just won a premiership out. His last game was a premiership winning performance for the Brisbane Broncos. So unheard of, unprecedented. And you mentioned the Keaon Koloamatangi, but that's exactly right. The fact that Keaon decided to take up a 5-year deal to go to the Dragons has opened up the door for South Sydney to pounce on Payne Haas. And now he's on around $1.2 million at Brisbane, and I think that's what the deal is worth at South Sydney as well. So it's not like they've thrown a huge amount of money at him to entice him. He just thought that he needed a bit of a freshen up. So, yeah, huge news. To leave the club where you've just won a premiership is a major shock and a major surprise.
Major shock and surprise is definitely the consensus at the moment, because obviously reports came out around Haas potentially inking an extension with the Broncos a few days ago. And of course, he was linked to R360 before as well. So has the move to the Bunnies come as a shock to Brisbane, maybe?
Look, I think that if R360 got off the ground, Payne Haas would have joined. I think that's my sense of it, and my discussions with people in and around last season that, he'd made his mind up to potentially join R360. But, Brisbane around Christmas were confident that he was going to sign a 12-month deal, but that hasn't eventuated. So now, he's gone. It really is a surprising turn of events, not only to leave the Broncos, but to join South Sydney, who snuck under everyone's guard to get this deal done.
Yeah, now eyes turn to South Sydney. I know it's crazy to talk about 2027 when 2026 hasn't even started yet, but wow, watch out for Souths in 2027.
Oh yeah, and this is the fascination with our transfer the way our transfer window works at the moment. Two representative players in Keaon Koloamatangi and Payne Haas are leaving their current club, but will play 12 months out. Keaon at South and Payne Haas at Brisbane. But yeah, you're right. They've signed David Fafetta, they've signed Brandon Smith. Now they get Payne Haas in the mix, and it looks like a pretty formidable lineup, South Sydney long term.
Yeah, it's not bad. State of Origin forward, like for State of Origin forward coming in as well. Plenty to discuss, I'm sure, over the next couple of days. We'll get more details as it comes out. But Michael, thanks for joining us on Fox Sports News. Can't wait to see what details come from this report over the next few days.
Yep, it's going to keep going. Thanks, Jared.